Hey, it's the Right Rican, and wearing my Mets stuff because opening day is on Thursday, and I'm a big Mets fan. So uh, there you go, Mets. um, so now that I got the light stuff out of the way, I want to talk about a couple of things today. Let me share the article that I want to. I'm going to start with this one here. Excuse me. Here we go. Let's make me a little bigger. Um, so we go. Biden announces up to $4 trillion infrastructure plan with massive tax hikes. Okay, you know, we do need to work on our infrastructure. We need to expand internet into the rural areas, um, which help, especially for remote jobs, because now we're not having to work from home. And if you want to be able to some of these these remote communities to be able to flourish, they're going to need that stuff. They're going to need high speed internet. Now, with that being said, do I trust the Biden plan? No, just like the Democrats didn't trust Trump's plan. But when Trump, here's the whole thing, this whole infrastructure thing is probably not going to pass because the Republicans aren't going to support it. And why do I want to talk about this? Because just before they impeached Trump the first time, what he wanted to address infrastructure, and it was something that it wasn't a Republican priority. So instead of working with Trump, they knew they were going to get this impeachment. It was nonsense, but they wasted money, wasted time, um, just because the fact that they had won the House, and Trump warned people to go out to vote because they're going to set out to impeach him, which they did. But that's not what this is about. This is about, like I said, he wanted to do an infrastructure bill, and it was something that most likely um, it was gonna have to pass, most likely with some Republican help and mainly Democrat help. This would have showed, but here's the problem: they didn't want to show. The reason why they did the whole impeachment and instead of focusing on the infrastructure bill, because it would have been a win for Trump. It would have showed that he's not the ideologue that they make him out to be. He's not a super conservative. He just wants to do what's best for the country, and they didn't want that. So let's see how they're going to spin um, this infrastructure bill for Biden. I was already hearing that they announced that they're going to allow earmarks, which means both. In order to get this, if you're going to get Republican support, it's going to be with earmarks to, like, remember, what was it, the bridge to nowhere? I mean, it was in Alaska or something. Um, that's what you're going to see in this bill now. It's going to be pork projects going to senators and Congress people to their district. It's, instead of um, let's say, like I said, in a rural area that may not have the power but needs the internet in their area, needs broadband internet, high speed. Let me not say broadband. You need high speed internet to be able to, access some of these um, remote jobs. That's jobs, programming jobs and all that stuff. So that's the first story I wanted to talk about. And here's the second. This one I'm going to go into the article. I just skimmed through it. But it's, I didn't know what was the issue with the whole thing with, they keep saying, oh, well, the new Georgia law criminalizes giving out bottles of water and all this nonsense. And, you know, this is the whole thing. why I say it's mostly false. Even without going through all of this, I could explain it to you. You have a certain distance that you have to keep away from the polls if you're someone from either party, like campaigning for either party. So, and you're not allowed to give gifts to people. What goes on in some of these areas is, let's say they'll get water, they'll put the candidate's picture in it or something like that, and they say, "Oh, here's a bottle of water." But it's not just them giving them a bottle of water. It's saying, "Hey, here, vote for Joe Schmo." That's what it is. It's not there, and that's the whole thing. Anyway, let me go into the article. Let me go here, and when PolitiFact is fact checking someone on the right, you have to read through the article because it'll say here, like this one says mostly false. But here we go. Look, a Georgia law has not criminalized giving people bottles of water. It pertains to political organizations, right? And here, look, here's a picture. A man receives free snacks from pizza to the polls food trucks on site at an early voting location. What does it say there? Hashtag democracy delicious. And I guarantee you this is not a Republican effort. So this sort of stuff is being banned because you basically is almost giving away a gift for a vote. But anyway, um, so here goes. I heard a couple of times in this program the idea that they've criminalized giving bottles of water. They're not. This is a statute. What is absolutely clear is that they're preventing political organizations from giving people in lines things, meals, water, what have you. Water is and should be provided at the polls for people who are standing in line, and that's the whole thing. Let me see. Where is it here that I wanted to go into? Um, Here's what the law says: no person shall solicit votes in any matter or by any means or method, nor shall any person distribute or display any campaign material, nor shall any person give, offer to give, or participate in the giving of any money or gifts, including but not limited to food and drink, to an elector, nor shall any person solicit signatures for any petition, nor shall any person within 150 feet of the outer edge of any building within which a polling place is. So, um, so he goes here. The Georgia House passed a bill that makes it a misdemeanor to give food or water to voters waiting in line. Notice here, this is fact check true. When you read this, okay, it's false. Because look, read what the law states. You're not allowed within 150 feet of the outer edge of any building within a polling place is established, within any polling place, or within 25 feet of any voter standing in line to vote at any polling place. Now, there's supposed to be water and stuff available to drink there. Um, where is it that, like I said, I just went through this real quick and I wanted to show. Cracking down on food and water giveaways to voter in Georgia is not new. Um, so Holmes said a Georgia law has not criminalized giving people bottled water. It pertains to political organizations. Makes it a crime for people, not just people from political organizations to hand out. The only kernel of truth is that the law has a sentence which allows poll workers to make available self-service water from an unattended receptacle to an elector waiting in line. But just because poll workers can make self-service water available doesn't mean that they are required to come up with a way to make water accessible to voters in every line. Blah 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 blah. So here's it. We rate this as mainly false, which is like, okay, that's your opinion. That's not a fact check. This is an opinion. So here's the problem. It's like, just read the law. That's it. You want to see if it's true, read the law. That's the law. And it says here, where does it say? Nor shall any person so it's like or but here's the place, but it specifically states where you cannot be to get to distribute uh the water. But like I said, some of these places, and I've seen it, I've lived in different places, and that's what they'll do. They'll put, you know give away mints with the candidate's name on it and stuff like that. But they can't do it at the polling station. They have to be away from the polling station. So while you're walking there or stuff like that, but so that's the whole thing. And like I said, it's not a fact check; it's an opinion, and it just gets on my nerves seeing that, especially that they'll fact check something that's an opinion with their own opinion. So this is not, politifact, politi opinion. Um, oh yeah, and this story here, I'm like, look, I thought it was a, I thought at first, I'm gonna stop sharing. This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about. Um, I thought that at first I thought it was a BS story, and it wasn't. Um, but there's a couple of different sayings, and with this being Easter week, um, I'm actually contemplating something different for Thursday and Friday, considering it's Holy Thursday and Good Friday, and then uh, got Resurrection Sunday. And I use that word specifically, resurrection, because the whole thing behind Easter and where the word comes from. I may talk about that. That's probably something I'm going to talk about. Um, but the greatest trick the devil ever did was convincing the world it doesn't exist. I know there's a quote that's all over the place, and with Easter coming up, I think this is more true than not. Especially when you see a story like this, where uh, here you have a guy that had one of the most popular hits last year. I think it was last year or the year before, and here he goes selling his fame to sell sneakers, pass an agenda. I don't know. I mean, I've heard other artists have done stuff before like this, and it's still gross. It doesn't matter which way you look at it. I mean, I understand it's just one drop of human blood and then the rest is ink, but that's disturbing. And then 666 sneakers, the symbolism and all that stuff. Um, it's just gross. I saw a stat that the amount of people going to churches is keeps dropping year by year, and um, it's funny. You're gonna people probably gonna disagree with this, but this is my feeling. I think that one of the reasons why people it's not the fact that we're becoming more of a secular society. I think what's going on is that the churches are getting infected by secularism. You're the church is supposed to be the rock. It's supposed to be salt and light. And instead of that, we're getting a watered down church. We're getting a church that is telling people, oh, it's okay to do this. It's okay to do that. Just come to church. It's okay. And that's not what the church is meant to do. The church is meant to keep us on the right path, and not to uh, make it okay to do to make it okay to do things. Um, and like I said, so Thursday and Friday, for people who follow my channel, if you're not religious, sorry, probably most likely I'll probably be, you know, um, doing some Bible quotes and stuff like that. I'll do some screen shares. Um, I hope I'll relate it to stuff for today. I used to teach Sunday school, so um, that's it. I hope you will enjoy it. I had these three stories as well as uh, my heart to talk about today. Um, so If you like, please follow my channels either on YouTube or Rumble, wherever you're seeing this. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Parlor, Gab. So, all right. Well, have a good one, everyone.